week's edition of the Dixie Sun News at Noon. I'm Monique Chavez.
And I'm Kiara Parham. Thanks for tuning in.
The coronavirus pandemic has escalated rapidly, causing widespread closure of schools, events, and travel. The NBA suspended the rest of the season last night after finding out that Utah Jazz player Rudy Gobert was confirmed to have the virus. President Trump has banned travel between the U.S. and Europe for the next 30 days. Princess Cruises has canceled all the cruises for the next 60 days as well. Areas such as New York, Washington, D.C., and Salt Lake City have declared states of emergency to deal with the crisis. Governor Gary Herbert is currently giving an address about the coronavirus. At Dixie State University, all classes will go online by March 23rd.
Addition to the online classes, all school-funded national travel is canceled through July 31st. Students will get reimbursed for the trip costs. Each student will be treated on a case-by-case basis and should contact the Study Abroad Program, Scholarship Office, and their airlines as soon as possible.
Dixie State University celebrated Dixie Giving Day on Tuesday. The Day of Giving started in the morning with daylight donuts being handed out in the Hall-In for those who shared on social media. The giving festivities continued with the Love Sack giveaway contest. DSU had a goal of 250 donations and was able to achieve 294 and raise over $40,000.
Due to improper notification, the Truth and Tuition meeting has been moved to tomorrow at 8 a.m. Every year, organizations on campus make their plea for funding and support, and a student-led fee allocation committee decides what is and what isn't funded every year. This meeting is an opportunity for students to find out how their student fees are being utilized and ask questions about where each dollar goes.
If you wanted to participate in one of DSU's viral music videos, now is your chance. The university is looking for extras to participate in various scenes for an upcoming video with Gentry. The university is pairing up with the musical group to promote the move to Division I athletics. Filming will take place on March 24th on campus. To sign up, contact the university's Marketing and Communication Department.
Spring break is a perfect time to explore new interests like meditation and Buddhism.
I guess you might say, what is the mission of Buddhism, right? So the whole mission is, to bring more loving kindness, to decrease suffering, to increase joy and peace of mind in the heart for as many people as possible.
Luckily, there's a class offered 2 times a week for suggested donation of $10, taught by Kay Yamo Condro, Fridays and Sundays 9 to 10 a.m. in a Kenyatta at a Sacred Space Spa. All are welcome to both classes, but Friday classes in the Tibetan language and chant and meditation, while Sunday's class is in all English, which is more for those who are starting to learn about Buddhism.
The DSU English Department collaborated with Encircle St. George to bring poetry workshops to the LGBTQ community on campus. Encircle is a research center for LGBTQ youth and their family members. The grand opening for Encircle will be on April 18th at 11 a.m. The next workshop on campus is on March 25th at 6 p.m. in the Hall-In building in room 476. Visit DixieSunNews.com for more information.
The Utah legislative session is coming to a close. After 7 long weeks, today marks the final official session for the Utah lawmakers. Overall, lawmakers passed a total of 271 bills focusing mainly on health, education, and law enforcement issues. However, going forward, Senate Budget Chair Jerry Stevenson says that lawmakers will still have a meeting in special sessions to polish a $20 billion budget plan and make amendments concerning the coronavirus.
I'm really happy with all the precautionary measures that Utah has been taking over this issue.
Yeah, I'm stunned. I was talking to some people today about it, and they're really hitting hard, especially on the tourism. So that's really great that they're actually taking these steps to prevent it from spreading.
Absolutely, safety first. Remember that.
After the break, political correspondent Hannah Hickman will be sitting down with 2 candidates for student body president.
Get our print career. And there's the bottom. Does this one have more water?
Can you tell me why? Careful.
road less traveled. Run free, unwind, unravel. Someplace outside with lots to do. Green trees, red rocks, and don't forget that blue sky. The sunshine shining, sunshine pouring on me. Think I might just stay a while. Say hooray all day because the sun is gonna shine on me. Sun is gonna shine on me. Sun's gonna shine on me.
1, 2, 3, 4. 0.52 kilograms. This graph is square.
Pretty close.
Artemisia is all the sagebrushes, but there's your needle and thread. Which one is this?
Come down. Carbonate, right? Sodium carbonate.
Radio Dixie 91.3. We don't play that. Nope, not that. A big fat no there. That's what we play. And stuff like that. On St. George's only alternative, Radio Dixie 91.3. Oh, and from 9 till midnight, we play this.
I need a one dance.
And this. Radio Dixie 91.3 FM.
Welcome back. My name is Hannah Hickman, and I'm sitting down with student body president candidates Penny Mills and Ryan Megan. So your guys' platforms tended to have a lot of, student voice advocation. So how will you guys represent the students when you say you're campaigning to be the voice of the students? How are you going to be the voice for everyone? So Penny, you can answer first.
Okay, so I think how I plan to do that is getting to know more and more students from different organizations, from different backgrounds, different cultures, and getting to know their academic stance, their majors, all of those kinds of things, because I think that plays a big role.
All right, Ryan.
Well, that is my entire platform, is to be the voice of the students. Your voice is my slogan. And what that means to me is really being accessible to the students. I've made sure my contact information is very available, so if students have concerns or ideas, they can message me directly. Throughout the school year as well, I plan on hosting various events where they can come and talk to me personally, and then of course reaching out and attending the various events that the organization have so that I can speak with them and see what they're doing and understand their concerns.
Yeah, so how are you going to handle the voice of passionate students who may or may not agree or disagree with you? There seems to be a lot in the ways of athletics being heard and not so much on the academic side. So how would you address that?
Absolutely. Well, all aspects are important to our university. Every program is what really makes us up. As people come to me and give me their concerns, I plan on weighing them and making sure to talk with my council to decide what is the best for the university. If there are students who are very passionate about certain things, I'll take that to the rest of the students and see how they feel. If it comes down to it where it's almost 50-50 and someone has to make a choice, I think that's the benefit of our representative form of government, is that the representative can then make a good choice for the students.
All right, Penny, what are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are, I love this question. I think that if students have a passionate voice about something, let them be heard. That's what I say. I think that it is really important to represent everyone, all different students. And was a part of that question how or what?
Yeah, so how can you represent the voice of students who are very passionate about something and whether they may disagree with you? So how would you address that?
I think I would contact them personally, and I would want them to contact me. Definitely, if they had a problem with something that I was doing or they wanted something to change, that's kind of my slogan is make a difference, be the change. And so it's kind of up to students. If they want to make a change, they have the opportunity to voice that.
How will you guys prioritize difficult decision making? Like I said, with all these voices, with all these different, voices being heard, when it comes to things like truth and tuition, what are you prioritizing? Is it the college as a whole or the student body as a whole?
So when you say the college as a whole or the student body as a whole, do you mean the specific colleges or the university?
The university, the entire DSU university, faculty, staff, everyone involved, as opposed to just the student body itself?
I think that the students are the most important thing. That's why we're all here. It's for the growth and benefit of the students. And so if the fee is not benefiting the students, I don't see the point in it. I think it's this, yeah. Right. Simply put, that's it.
Ryan? Yeah.
I think the most important thing is finding a balance. You can't have a university with no students, and you can't have students with no university. They'll leave. And so I think when it comes to hearing all those voices and making those decisions, it's just important for the student body president to be accessible, to be ready to hear everything, to have an open mind, to take all of that in, organize it, and then of course meet with the administration and find out their goals, because they're the ones who see behind the curtains. Students don't really get to see that, but as a student body president, you become a liaison between those two groups. So I think I couldn't, other than of course my role is to represent the students, and that's what I'll do. When it comes to prioritizing the goals, it will be the university and the students.
So when it comes to representing, students as a whole and everything, who do you think's the most underrepresented group on campus? And how would you go about making their voices heard?
Well, leading up to this campaign, I've made sure to visit with many different clubs and organizations and just students in the hallway to talk about their views on this. And as I talk to them, every group seems to feel like they're the most underrepresented. It's hard for me to say which one really is, but as I was able to talk to them, they said this is the first time a candidate has ever come to talk to us about this. And they all really appreciated it. I think that as long as we as candidates and as elected officers are making that effort, I hope no one ends up feeling like they're the least recognized. I'll make sure that it's a point to attend as many events as I can and to visit with the students to make sure everybody feels represented.
All right, Penny, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that was a really great answer. I think that it's true that not everybody feels like they have a voice. Just from like the people that I have talked to, I think that the Black Student Union probably is one that's at the top of the list that they don't feel like they are recognized, and probably the LGBTQSA.
And I did visit them and they had the same things to say. So she's dead on.
Yeah, so a big platform for both of you is listening to the student body voice. So do you feel as if you haven't been listened to at all?
Yes. Yeah.
Most of my involvement with the university has been in the accounting department. And so as I've done that, I've been able to be well represented. There's only 200 of us. But speaking with my friends who have had ideas, who have had concerns, they have all let me know that they feel underrepresented. That's why I chose my motto and what I plan to do going into this year. I've told many people I don't particularly have an agenda. I'm not going into this saying, I want to change this or I want to change this. It's just what the students want. And so I felt very good and very welcomed here at Dixie State. I understand not everybody feels that way, and I hope to change that.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for coming here. So after the break, we will have Michael with the latest on sports.
There is a place where the sun doesn't hide in the winter, where the greens stay green and the crimson canyons still glow. There is a place where dimples determine destiny, and a tiny wooden tee holds the outcome in the balance. There is a place where we drive for show, putt for dough, and settle the score with another round. There is a place.
Where do you find the titans of classical music in St. George? Classical music on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM. Where do you find the legends of jazz? Evenings on Radio St. George, 100.3 FM.
Back up the side, he's gonna score, 22-yard touchdown.
The women's basketball team finished its last season in Division II with its best record in 10 years. The Trailblazers got knocked out of the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference semifinals by in-state rival Westminster College. The Trailblazers were out-rebounded by the Griffins, outshot from the field, and outshot from downtown. DCU's big contributors offensively were guards Allie Franks and Maddie Loftus. Franks and Loftus combined for 37 points and had the team's only 4 three-pointers. The next chapter for the women's basketball team will begin in July when the Trailblazers transition to D1. Get your dancing shoes on, get ready to hit the dance floor, and prepare for the madness. The men's basketball team is going dancing at the 2020 NCAA Division II Men's Basketball South Central Regionals. Despite the loss to Colorado Mesa last weekend, the Trailblazers had an impressive resume to be able to receive an at-large bid and the number 3 seed to go to the South Central Regionals. DCU had an overall record 23-7 with a 17-5 conference record, claiming a share of the conference title and is ranked number 23 among other D2 schools. Here's a closer look at the South Central region. Since West Texas A&M is the number 1 seed in the region, they will host the first 3 rounds. DC will take on RMAC foe Colorado School of Mines in the first round of the tournament on Saturday at Canyon, Texas. What a bounce-back performance for men's golf, finishing runner-up at a Notre Dame Dunamar Argonaut Invitational. The Trailblazers finished 1 stroke behind first place and finished the tournament with a final total of plus 13, 297. DC had 4 Trailblazers who placed in the top 20 in the player leaderboard. DC will tee off again at the UC San Diego SoCal Intercollegiate on March 23rd through the 24th. Women's golf opened its spring schedule with a 5th place finish at the Missouri St. Louis Emerald Coast Classic. The Trailblazers were consistent throughout the tournament by improving their shot total by little. DC had a final total of plus 99, 951. And freshman Abby Porter finished at 15th place with their final tally being 5 over 76. The Trailblazers will have its next match at the Holy Names Makuni Sushi Invitational on March 16th through the 17th. The softball team had a hard time taking on UCCS, splitting its series last weekend. The Mountain Lions outscored the Trailblazers 20-18 and made more contact hitting the ball. However, DC was better off defensively by having fewer errors and the bounce-back pitching performances by the pitchers. The Trailblazers will have Colorado Mesa at Adams State for doubleheader matchups on Saturday and Sunday at Carl Brooks Field. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a while, and I think you know what time it is. It's time to bring out the broom as baseball swept away Adams State with ease. I promise everyone, what you're looking at on the screen is true. The Trailblazers outscored the Grizzlies 62-6 and made more contact with the ball with 55 hits. DC's pitching gave up only 19 hits, 3 earned runs, and struck out 28 batters. The Trailblazers will look to keep their hot bats and pitching going on the road against UCCS on Saturday through Sunday.
Oh, there's a lot of sports going on, but may not be going on.
Yeah, definitely. For baseball, they had to move their doubleheader from tomorrow to Saturday and Sunday, so that baseball was definitely affected. I'm not sure about basketball either.
Yeah, what do you think the plan of action might be for basketball?
For sure that they're only going to allow the staff, the players, and the players' immediate family for sure to be there, and hopefully that they stay safe and keep themselves healthy.
I hope that crowd gets rowdy.
Just hear a round of applause.
That'd be nice. Something is better than nothing at this point.
Exactly. Before we leave, we're going to give you some tips on how to adjust daylight savings time.
Some recommended tricks are to keep to your sleep schedule and wake up at your usual times, no matter what. And if you can, try to sneak in a short nap.
Avoiding caffeine late in the day and drinking lots of water will not only keep you hydrated, but has sleep benefits as well.
We know you love your cell phone, but try to reduce electronic use at least an hour before bed.
Try to sleep in total darkness as well. We hope these tricks help you get a better night's sleep, even with spring break coming up. And that's it for this week's edition of the Dixie Sun News at Noon.
I'm Kiara. We'll see you here next week, same time, same place.
Have a great week, Trailblazers.
Stay safe.